Hey everyone, welcome to my channel, the best place for everyone who want to heal naturally. All the secrets and all the tips and tricks when it comes to endometriosis and natural healing. And today we're going to talk about endometriosis and gluten. So first of all, you have to know that the gluten and all the grains been introduced to us humans very recently. Some scientists said that it's about 6 million years of human evolution. And guess how long we've been eating grains? Just about 10,000 years ago. The first grains was discovered in China 10,000 years ago, and since then they didn't discover any earliest evidence of humans consuming grains. So as you can see, it's pretty much recent. 10,000 years only, you know? And how does it happen that humans all of a sudden decided to eat grains? Well, once upon a time, our ancestors used to be hunter-gatherers. It means they either hunt, like the animals, or gather, like the vegetables, fruits, or whatever it was to gather. But there was the periods of time when there was no animals around, and for example in winter there was not much to gather, you know. So our ancestor came to idea that they're gonna start cultivating grains, and those villages who actually start planting grain had a higher survival rate. And why all these problems with the gluten and all the food intolerance, you might think? Like my grandma never had, you know, problem with the gluten. Now few generations up and we've got all this mass problem of all this IBS, you know, leaky guts and God knows what else. Well, you have to know that the grains which my grandma used to consume and the grains which we consuming now, it's like two different words. Seriously. If my grandma saw the bread which they're selling here in UK, she would literally sit and cry. She really would, because my grandma used to do the bread, you know, by herself. And I remember as a child, I've got like all lovely memories when it comes to grains, when it comes to bread. You know, I remember how the freshly baked bread feels like, smells like. So for me, giving up gluten was giving up all that, the memories. But of course that's not true. You don't have to give up your memories. Just, you know, you have to realize that some foods are being produced in the like mass production and sadly have nothing in common with the food which, you know, you've got beautiful memories around. So I eventually gave up gluten. I'm not eating any bread, I'm not eating any pastries, I'm not eating gluten pasta. One thing you need to know is that eating grains actually is slowing down your digestion. And you might remember that when you eat like a lot of pizza and a lot of McDonald's, you know, how do you feel later about it? You feel like you're just gonna lie down and digest and you don't have even, you know, power to do anything else. And guess why is this happening? Because your body is very smart. Your body is shutting down all other function. So your body don't want you to run the marathon when you've got all these grains in your stomach to digest. So your body literally stopping you, cutting down all the energy. So you have to lie down in the sofa and digest. This is what's happening. When you eat a lot of grains, it's actually slowing down the digestion. And notice that in the restaurant. I know now we are in the lockdown, so it's hard to notice. But you might even remember that before you order something, the waiter brings you the nice cutting bread. And you know, why is that? Why they bring you bread before the meal? Because they know the more you eat the bread and the grains, the more hungry you get. Seriously, and the slower hungry you get, because your body is still, you know, digesting and still very slowly digesting. But your body is sending you also signal, okay, I'm eating and I'm digesting, but there is like literally no nutrients. What the hell is going on? I'm still hungry. So your body is still sending you this hungry signal. to your brain and you keep on eating. And that's why restaurants know this very, very well. That's why they give you bread, because they know, oh, he's still going to be hungry and he's going to order something more. Modern day grains, they are totally different than the grains which our grandmothers used to know. And even in the places which are trying to keep these grains to be organic and keep these grains to be as it used to be, there is a lot of contamination cases, and sometimes they doing this contamination in purpose to literally fuck up all the farmers who are, you know, raising like organic crops. And why they doing this? Because a lot of companies actually patent their grains. They patent the grains by genetically modifying it and changing just a little bit of structure of the grain. And this is what's happened, for example, in India, when the organic farmers got their crops contaminated. And these genetically modified grains are actually used all over the world. My grandmother used to make bread from 3 ingredients, which was the flour, the water and the salt. That's pretty much it. And now check the ingredients in every single bread out there. Check how many is it, you know, at least 5. And the most, I think I saw 12. I'm not exaggerating. Especially in those white loaves. And the food industry cares only about their profits. So they produce the food not good for us, but good for them, which means they're going to stay in the shelves very long, with very long shelf life, so they don't have to replace it, you know. So many people suffer for something what the scientists call the wheat belly. They even make books about it. Go have a look. Not to even mention that, you know, wheat and the gluten, they are very much inflammatory. And I want you to make some experiments. Take some flour, you know, mix it with water and leave it like on the chopping board overnight. Just leave it there. Don't put it to the freeze, just literally leave it in your kitchen. And when you come back next day, let me know what's happened. It's very likely that all the flour turned out to some kind of horrible mass, which by consistency is just close to cement. This was happening inside you. This gluten is literally like a glue which goes around every your organs inside. So it's absolutely disgusting. Please do not do this to your body. Your body is amazing and your body really deserves better. If you like this video, click the like button, subscribe and share it with everyone so we can all come together and heal together. Because guys, we are living in a very difficult time. Most of the cities and countries are in lockdown now. So we really have to learn how to help our bodies to heal, because no one else is gonna do it. And you know, the government don't really care much, so it's your responsibility to learn, and I'm here to help you a little bit. So share it with everyone, and I'm gonna see you on Monday. I love you all. Bye. Jola beatboxing. I've got many talents, you know. I've got many talents.